How to hire offshore software developers, checklist for startup founders in 2021. By ProCoders. Introduction. Globally, there is an unprecedented adoption of outsourcing for IT projects, including software development. Many companies, particularly SMEs, are massively pushing this, and many business leaders are already improving their knowledge on how to hire offshore software developers. Why hire offshore developers for your startup? The offshoring model of outsourcing is associated with various risks, such as time zone and cultural differences hamper communication. However, the focus of this article is to show you how to hire an offshore development team and make offshoring work for you. But before that, we must explore the benefits associated with offshoring specifically. Benefits of offshore software development. Flexibility is one of the most majority reasons companies outsource software development. With offshoring, it is easy to add or remove developers from the team. Another benefit of offshoring to a remote team, even if you already have an IT team in-house, is that it helps to keep your team focused on routine tasks. IT teams have to keep up with network issues, maintenance, cybersecurity, and so on. Outsourcing helps you take some load off your team. Offshore development models. There are two main offshore software development models. They are project-based outsourcing and the specialist model. Understanding how to successfully outsource software development begins with identifying which model is perfect for your project. Where to hire offshore developers? The next stage is to find the right software professionals. You may choose to either hire an agency or hire individual developers separately before putting a team together. This takes a lot of due diligence. One major factor you should consider is where to outsource software development. Asia and certain countries in Europe are the most popular destinations for offshore software development. Asia is more popular, and their developers charge less, but note that this may mean a lesser work quality too. How to hire offshore software developers. Define your needs and goals. First, you must know what you want to determine how to outsource your project. What kind of application do you want to build? What type of developers would you need? What skills must they have? What infrastructure does the project require? What's the expected time to market? What are the benchmarks for quality? How will you test the product? Define your budget. Of course, you can't hire a developer if their payment rates do not match your budget. When negotiating the cost of the project, ensure that the agency outlines the services and infrastructure covered by the total costs and the ones that are not. Reach out to preferred developers. Once you have determined what your project would be like, how to outsource it and which location you want to outsource to, it is time to identify the remote vendors that you think would fit your project. If it is an agency, visit their website to find a portfolio of past projects they have handled. For individual freelancers, request their resumes and personal portfolios too. Evaluate the skill set. Nothing will tell you more about the ability of the developers you are hiring than a test. There are different ways to conduct assessments, as well as there are different tools. However, all have the same aim, to determine if the developer is worth their mettle. Finalize work conditions and legal agreements. This is the last stage of the hiring process. At this point, you must have selected a developer agency already. What you need to do now is to establish work conditions without ignoring the legal aspects. By hiring an offshore development team, you are giving out access to and knowledge of your business operations, some of which may be confidential. Conclusion. Finally, to make offshoring work for you, you must be ready to treat it as a partnership. After all, the developers are not working for you, but rather with you. Therefore, you must hire offshore developers ready with plans on how to bridge communication gaps and ensure seamless progress of the project until completion. Subscribe our channel and read more about how to hire offshore software developers, checklist for startup founders in 2021 at ProCoders blog.